Some of the coolest stuff that I've seen at some of these shows, not so much this one, but is actually some of the extraction, the science behind how do they get to the steps before they get to here. So you'll go to some of these and they'll actually be, the hemp or the marijuana ones, and they'll have the extraction equipment. And then you get to actually talk to the manufacturers of the equipment and find out, all the stuff that they have to put together, and that's the science behind it and the process behind it. And for me, I've got a background in engineering, and so for me, that's kind of that's the nerdy part of the whole thing. This is the fun part. The nerdy part is how do you get, what's the equipment that you use to actually get the CBD or do the extractions, and then do all the chemistry and all the magic behind the scenes.
You actually invested in that equipment yourself to potentially create your own product.
Our philosophy right now is, and our focus is on trying to find the best products that are out there. There's so many companies that are out there, and companies that are more vertically integrated than we potentially would be able to be. And I think in controlling that chain from seed to the end product, that's, I think, best for somebody else to focus on. The thing for us to focus on is who has the best product, because also sometimes what you'll find is one company may have one product that's really great. The rest of their products may be good, but not excellent. So we want to focus on how do we go find those excellent products, the best of class products, and bring those into the store, because again, we want to do the work so that you don't have to. And that I think staying focused on that is the most, for us, is the most important thing right now.
One of the neatest things coming to all these conventions all these years, one of the neatest things I ever discovered was that if you go to a convention in a legal state, obviously they sell marijuana seeds. Did you know that a marijuana seed is completely legal in all 50 states because it's considered an edible? Once that seed is put into the ground, it is no longer an edible hemp because it doesn't have 0.3 THC. In fact, it has almost no THC in it because it's a seed. It's considered a protein, very high in hemp protein. Once you plant it, it becomes illegal in Texas. Before it is planted, you can eat all the marijuana seeds you want, but that one seed is going to cost you almost $10. So that's a very expensive edible, but they're like about the size of a grain of rice, and you'll see them at conventions. They'll sell them in 1s, 5s, 10 packs. You can eat them all day long. It's a very expensive treat, but once you plant them, then it becomes what it is. So this is a product that we has made it through our testing phases, and so we're actually in kind of the final stages of deciding if this is a product we're going to carry. It actually works on nerve pain differently than our current products. So the products we carry work on about 85% of our clients. Huge success rate, works really well because it drives all the way through the skin. But sometimes you have like untreatable neuropathy, nerve pain, so it's very, very severe cases, and we've been looking for a doctor to partner with that we can send clients to that need that help, that specializes in pain. And so we're pretty excited that he's here today. We're getting to chat with him and really look at his products, and of course him as a referral as well. What's really interesting about a convention of this size and a kind of a newer market is you're going to get more of your craft. You're going to get smaller farms, craft feel, whereas when you go to these huge conventions in Vegas, not that that isn't one of the best conventions to go through for the entire industry, which happened a couple of months ago, but you get a lot more glitz and glamour. Every once in a while, the diamonds in the rough, and looking for very specialized manufacturers and growers, you're going to find them at the little conventions because they're trying to make a name for themselves in markets that really don't exist. I mean, Texas doesn't really have a market yet. It is going to explode when it happens, and of course, finding those suppliers that have a unique, specialized product. When you have your cannabis, botanical, and hemp-derived terpenes, they all come from different plants. And people don't realize terpenes come from all different ways. They can even be synthetically derived.
So,
big
for example,
difference.
for limonene, you can get it all from lemon peels or get it from a cannabis strain that's high in limonene. It's just that the weed's going to cost a lot more than a bunch of discarded lemon peels.
Absolutely.
So that's why it costs so much money, yeah.
But there's a big, huge difference. when you put it into product.
Oh yeah. So
Oh
I
my
put some
gosh.
of these in diffusers in my office before, and it smells like I hotboxed my whole office, but doesn't have any burning or tar smell to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
nuts.
You know it's good when you drool. This happens to be one of my favorite strains.
Oh, which one is that?
That's sour diesel.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
So that's cannabis derived.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is
And then we
awesome.
got hemp derived.
Then you have hemp derived. Oh, sour space candy.
So the hemps are all, to me, they all have like a similar fieldy smell to them.
Yeah.
As opposed to cannabis, which is more like funky, skunky type smells.
You can really tell the difference.
Yeah.
And then, oh, this is our other favorite.
We got fruits, candy flavors,
Yeah.
terp
That's
ice.
what happens when you make them out of botanicals.
Mm.
So when you're using a product, you're smelling it, you can tell the difference.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And these are just like what, like oils, just to like
Essential oils.
essential oils.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, so when I first started working in terpenes, doing a little research, I found that they used to be used all in like perfumes and colognes. So I went and checked like my cologne ingredients, it was all just terpenes mixed together. And so they've been using it for a long time.
For the people, man, educational purposes, what are terpenes exactly?
You want to handle that one?
Yeah, terpenes are the aromatic essences of plants. So everything in the plant world, all the cultivars, they have these oils inside of them that have healing properties, medicinal properties, and yeah,
Hey, that was a good one.
terpenes are everywhere.
They're-
That's what they are.
Terpenes are they're everywhere. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool though, man.
Now we'd like
Good
to.
stuff.
Well, see, we'd like to. This right here, for instance, would normally be stirring around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This we want to show you how to shear it and make it water soluble. Our whole thing is we take oil-based products like cannabis oil and make it water soluble so that your body can absorb it. You know,
So you're telling
familiar-
me that an entire water soluble mechanism is right here.
Well, yes, this is a lab version. Yeah, lab version. The
Right.
production models,
Way bigger. But it's insane that all that is in
Oh yeah,
that.
and you should see this thing runs like this little guy here, 70,000. Because this will shear molecules. So it takes oil and it shears the molecules down to nano size. That's how powerful it is. And it just, you turn it on and it just runs like that. You're like, oh my gosh, you know. But it's literally shearing molecules. That's how. Yeah. So that's what it does. And then you put it over here, you stir it like that, and it takes the oil like, you know, oil.
Yeah.
You run it with our emulsifier like that, put it in here, and it looks like water. But it's by the time it's done, this further mixes it. That automatically mixes it, you know, and then it makes water that you put it in like beverages and gummies and things. And the whole reason it's water soluble, the important part is it makes it predictable, fast acting, because it bypasses the digestion system. So you will feel an effect of this, like this gummy, in say 8 to 12 minutes.
When it's done right.
When it's done right.
Right, now that's the
Because
big
otherwise,
thing,
well,
yeah.
We take our lunch.
See?
Then this is the oil.
Oh wow. So this turns into this.
Can I smell it?
Yep. Sure. Oh wow.
smell the material.
Oh my gosh. It makes you
wow.
drool. Isn't that cool? Oh, sorry. Yeah. I didn't see if it was pressure.
So it goes from this to
That
this
to
to this.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Isn't that cool? Now, CBD in all these? Career was in hardware, and we used to do dyes and presses, and so these are dyes and presses that are tens of thousands of pounds on the plates. They'll take off the tip of a finger in an instant, and so to see that massive industrial scale application put into something that's teeny tiny. They took a pound of flour that was dry and nasty and crumbly, and they piled it up and then they took these 2 plates and pressed it, and it had a little groove in it, and to watch all of the resin syrup just from pure pressing come out the bottom. Oh, there were people standing in line and wanted to wipe their finger through that. But it was really interesting to see how they can take technology that's been used in years and years and years in heavy duty industrial applications, shrink it down, make it work for this industry. That was probably one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
We just sat there and we're like, can we have some? They're like, oh no. They wouldn't let us have any of it.
What would the potency of that stuff be? Is it pretty like through the roof?
It would be through the roof potency. So a grain of rice can have almost 1,000 milligrams of THC. So when you look at a bottle of CBD, then let's say it has 1,000 milligrams in that bottle, that is made from a concentrate that's about the size of a grain of rice. Most of that bottle is made up of your carrier oil that you use, much like when you make salad dressing. You don't pour straight vinegar, but you mix your vinegars and your oils and all your flavorings. That's what you're doing when you create the bottle, is you take your live resin, you're using it and you're mixing it in with a carrier oil to make it so that you can dose it, because yeah, the grain of rice is way too strong. So one of the things with concentrates is people don't realize that a bottle of CBD oil can be made out of something that looks like the size of a bean in concentrate. So when they press the flower or manufacture the flower and squeeze everything out of it, if that's the method they're using, you can get something that looks like a 1 mil syringe, which is about a half of the length of a pencil or a short pencil. That'll have over 1,000 milligrams in it of pure THC. Now, something like that, I mean, that's incredible. They use that for medical treatment. That's not a consumer type product. But when you look at that and you get those concentrates, that's the reason why people talk about you can buy bottles of concentrate. Well, a little 1 cup, and maybe we'll see them here today, 1 cup of concentrate can have 1 million milligrams of CBD in it, and then that's what you use to make your products. So hey, this is Kelly. We had a great day today here at the Dallas CBD Expo. Fantastic group of people, vendors from all across the nation, a lot of small vendors. Love to see that. A lot of personal grows, manufacturing methods, plants. We got to see a little bit of everything, but some of the most exciting highlights is how far technology has come. I'm a little bit of a techno geek on the manufacturing side, and it is really neat to see some of the new hardware that they are literally coming out with to make the product work better. People don't realize that the products, especially in vape or anything like that, to make it work better, you need really good hardware, and hardware can change things drastically. We got to see some high-end hardware. We got to see hardware that will actually blend 2 tanks together, and you can switch it back and forth. So the new technologies that are coming out are fun, and we got to see some manufacturing methods with some new nano emulsion, which means it is broken down prior to the body so that people with gut issues or people that need really fast absorption in an edible can get as close as possible as you can when you vape or smoke, which is the fastest uptake. So we got to see some new technologies there. Flavor profiles have changed drastically. It used to be that the products tasted terrible, you held your nose, you're like, okay, and you swallowed something and gagged it down. Well, that's 5 or 6 years ago. That's not true today. Today, we saw handmade chocolates. We saw things where they've tried to pull a lot of the flavoring out to make them more palatable so that you don't have all the residues left from the plant. Pluses and minuses on that, but it was really neat to see the variety and where technology is going to impact the industry. In the end, it benefits all of us. It means we can provide superior products, we can provide newest cutting edge products, newest delivery methods, so we're pretty excited about that.
This is Rick coming from the CBD Expo here in Dallas, and I know Kelly was talking about some of the new technologies from the nano perspective. One of the things that I thought was really interesting is the delivery methods. So you're starting to see things that, like the breath strips, the sprays that you can put in your mouth, the number of drinks and the variety, from mimicking Bloody Marys with bacon all the way to sports drinks. So it's incredible just to see how much creativity and just where things have come from. Oh, here's a gummy, to here's a gummy, here's a vape. Now you've got this swath of product delivery methods that are coming out, and we keep taking a look at those to try to bring the best to the store. So my favorite has to be, though, somebody actually is starting to make baking mixes. So now you can make your own chocolate chip cookies. You can make your own brownies with Delta 8. So that's all really exciting stuff. We will continue to look through things and find the best, and then look at whether or not we bring them in and provide them to our customers. So signing off from the CBD Expo.